Testing 1 2 3. Well, here we are, guys. Hopefully, welcome to Race on Oz GT3 Series Heat 1 at Barcelona. For the guys that are in the chat, just give me a thumbs up for
green light, go.
Voice coming through, that it's loud enough. Qualifying is just about to start. We've got a 15-minute qualifying session, followed by a race of 60 minutes with one mandatory pit stop. So we'll look forward to seeing what happens tonight, but I just wanted to say welcome for the new year of 2022. Hope everyone's had a good break over the time. Thanks, Baradog. Really important that everyone stays safe. Just while I've got a couple of minutes, my circumstances are a little bit different this time, unfortunately. I'm not at home in Melbourne. I'm actually at my holiday house in the country, isolating after unfortunately contracting COVID. So don't have my normal setup. I'm not sitting in my rig, unfortunately. And yeah, but since I'm isolating and I didn't have much else to do, I thought I'd just jump on and kick off some commentating. So this is a solo gig for myself tonight. My good friend Jamie, who I normally co-commentate with, I believe is in Sydney. So if he's watching tonight, g'day buddy, how are you? I can't wait for you to get back and we kick this off. The other thing, I just want to do a big shout out to Pesky 1 as well. So Drew, who had some pretty significant surgery done on his face for cancer and whatnot. Mate, get well soon. I saw the photo of you today and it doesn't look great. But I'm sure that those nurses are looking after you too, especially the ones that look like they're really good through beer goggles when you're on a bit of that good medicine stuff. Alright, so as we cycle through, let's just have a look. See, we haven't got anyone posting any times yet, but just going by the practice, Vic Chan in the Lamborghini was a standout, which shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Probably a good 6 to 7 tenths quicker than most other people. But this is a tricky track, and just because you can be fast in practice and in qualifying doesn't mean that it's going to be like that in the race. But we do know that Vic Chan's got a very good record, so I am sure that the guys in behind him will be certainly trying to do everything that they possibly can to put pressure on him and make sure that he doesn't just have an easy race. Alright, we'll just wait for some of these times to come through. Looks like Fly's just come over the start finish line. It's must have had an invalidated lap. He hasn't posted anything as yet as he comes into turn 1. This is a tricky, might just jump on board with Fly for a second. We'll just do a bit of a lap around. I can tell you that this is a very tricky track, this one. So the corner that he's just come around there's a lot of on-off throttle, and this is a tricky corner too. So just try and keep it in there nice and tight, get a good exit speed. Coming in on this right-hander, nice and deep on the brakes. You want to have good exit speed here as well. Take it out nice and wide. Coming up on approach to this left-hander, it's just gone a little bit wide there, which doesn't look. It looks like he's neck coating a little bit too, so he may have had a nice race line. So I apologise, Fly, if you did, buddy. But as he's cruising down to the long back straight to the tight hairpin, catches a lot of drivers out. Very easy to go out wide there. There's a yellow curbing there, cut across this ripple strip, which can unsettle the car. And then this next combination of corners is very tricky as well. So you've got to try and maximise the right racing line, get good exit out of here. Try and stay off that yellow ripple strip if you can. And you literally, as you exit onto the start finish straight away, borderline on hitting track limits. So that's a good lap by Fly, so well done, buddy. Let's just have a look and see what times have come through so far. So we've got Vic Chan at 1 minute 44.8. Brennicles in the Bentley 4/10 behind him. HSV is in a nice shiny AMG. It's nice livery. So yeah, so he's just indicated through the chat that he's surprised that he is where he is on the timetable, but I have full confidence in HSV that he's going to be able to do a pretty good job. So in the last season of 2021, probably had a couple of unfortunate incidents there, which reflected on the overall championship table. But you know, at the end of the day, he was right up there, and I mean, right now he's 5/10 behind Vic Chan, so he's in P2. So that's a really good effort from him. Ty Moore goes into pits as he comes back out, and kudos to Ty Morgo. So he's in the Honda, which is what they ran in the Honda series for the Bear Cup. A few of the guys actually feedback from that said that it was a nice car to drive. So good on him for having a go in that. And I know that at Suzuka as well, Slambo pulled an amazing times in the Honda, substantially quicker than a lot of the other guys that were in there. So that was quite interesting to see. I reckon it's one of those cars that if you can master it, it's probably be okay. Crashy mate, I must be new to this series and to the group, so welcome to Race on Oz, mate. In the Audi, sporting number 1, so pretty big statement there. If that's the number that he's running, I hope that that's a good indication of what's to come. And Bounty's in the Audi as well, cycling around in P7 at the moment. JCRT, another new name that I haven't heard of. Welcome to Race on Oz. Gazza, another new name to Race on Oz. Nah, just kidding. Gazza's team captain of BHR, top bloke. Legend of Race on Oz, so he's in the AMG tonight as well, and actually a nice looking car. Uzi Blue in the Lambo, Squid in the Aston Martin. Now I've heard that there's a bit of a rumour with the new update that's coming in February 22 is that the Aston Martin is post-update is going to be a pretty quick car, so it'll be interesting to see how many guys jump on board with that particular car this season. Max in P14 in the Audi, Karki in the Lambo, Saint Sim in the Nissan. Now there's a great CNE car, this one. Not one of the highest performing cars, but certainly looks good and sounds good, so that's all that matters. If it was show and shine, then he'll certainly be on top of the list. And we've got EXO in the Nissan as well, cruising around in P17 with AB Saints in the Bentley still. Certainly I know that some of these guys that have been driving these cars for a little while. This series is a bit of a lead up to when the real season starts. Not to take anything away from this series, but it's opportunity for guys to try different cars and setups and see what suits. And Stanhouse cruised around P19 in the AMG, so I think by this stage, I reckon between HSV and Stanhouse, the two liveries are my top two. Love the purple clashing with the matte black there. It looks pretty hot actually, so that's yeah, could be a popular colour combination I reckon in the season to come. And thanks Jamie, mate. I just the front left screams around here with the long right hand turns. Yes, it does. Slightly less of the problem with the mandatory tyre change, but yep, certainly even with a mandatory tyre change, it's something that they will need to take into consideration. 60 minutes is a long time to burn out a left-hand front tyre, so with 5 minutes to go in qualifying, I can tell you that where I am right now, it's damn hot, so because I'm in isolation, I'm also allowed to have a frothy while I'm commentating, so hopefully you guys don't mind, but if I step away for a couple of seconds, it's because I've run to the fridge. Alrighty, so Crashy Mate's up in P2, 3/10 behind Vic Chan, so there you go. Bit of a, exactly what I said, number one on the side of the car, could be a contender to, yeah, fight along Vic Chan, which I have no doubts that Vic Chan would welcome with open arms. HSV in P3, Brennicles P4, in the Bentley, Metal Steel in the Bentley in P5, so the Bentley appears to be a suited car to this track again, so overall the Bentley's a pretty good car across most tracks, not so much Paul Ricard, but most of the other ones absolutely, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes over the next few. We've got Monza and Spa and Zandvoort still to come, which should be interesting. 39 degrees in Adelaide today, Pesky. Lucky you're in hospital, mate. I have no doubts that they've probably got really good air conditioning in there. Time all goes into pits again. So 1.2 seconds behind. In P6 is a pretty good effort, so you know, we've got some big names in this list. Just about got a full grid, which is excellent actually. Haven't done a full-size grid like this for a long time, and Jamie, I know that you're probably looking at the numbers too, thinking, geez, wish I was part of that, because we typically deal with numbers of anywhere from 10 to 14, 15 cars on track, and then we generally lose a few through the race, so I've certainly got my work cut out for me tonight. So a couple of minutes to go. We'll just see a top four pretty close. Be interesting to see if there's any changes in positions. Let's have a look. Cycle down. Who's about to come off onto the main straight? HSV. Let's have a listen to the sound of this thing. It's an absolute beast. HSV's just dropped a little bit. He's pretty close. I'll tell you what though, guys, that is a really nice clean lap. And one of the hardest things to do, well done to HSV, but one of the hardest things to do is to put a lap in He's just gone, just would have gotten very close to track limits there. Still in P2, but yeah, certainly if you're just looking at that, the smoothness of his driving and corner entry, even Vic Chan here, you see how wide he takes that first corner, just to set himself up into the turn 2, wide turn 3. And the Lambo was a very popular and fast car last season, so I'm not surprised that Vic Chan's actually in this, giving it a test run. I don't know about you guys out there that are watching, if you've driven the Lambo, if you do the onboard dash view, one of the things that I found is that the A pillar is so big that it actually blocks too much of the track for me personally. So I guess the guys that drive on bonnet view wouldn't be an issue, but in my opinion, if you're racing on the in ACC GT3, you definitely should be in car, so you can just create that realism. So there we go, Vic Chan still in P1. I don't think anyone's gonna pip him here, so that's a really good effort. So Vic Chan position 1, HSV P2, Crashy Mate P3, Brennicles P4. So top 4 cars. We've got 4 manufacturers, which is great to see. Metal Steel, great effort in P5. JCR and Fly in the Macca, P6 and 7, and Time Wargo in the Honda P8, Bounty P9, Gaza P10. So there's your top 10 guys. Black Falcon, so last season's AM Series champion, winner there in P11. Mersey Blue in P12, Khaki 13, Saint Sim, Ceramic Squid in the Aston Martin, Max, Stanhouse, XO, and AB Saints. And then I've got car 22 in P20, and I'm not sure who that is yet, and if they're able to actually come in. So it'll be interesting to see if that does come off. Let's just have a look. Probably just somebody that was in there previously that left. Mate, HSV, I can feel your pain. Just sitting here commentating, I'm sweating already. So I'm already onto my well, I'll be generous, my 3rd beer. Not feeling any effects at all because it's just sweating out of me straight up. So, and I'm on isolation and holiday still, so I might as well enjoy it. Cheers. So Slambo 144.1. Wow. Okay. Yep, so that's pretty damn close too. Just my laptop stream is buffering, guys. Am I still coming through okay with my broadcast stream? Just want to make sure. Thanks, Jamie. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that. Alrighty, just as we wait, it appears the session start time, so the countdown clock, we've got a longer time period than what we experienced last season or last year, which is good. Certainly one of the requests that I put through as feedback is to have the time between qualifying and race increased because some of us older blokes, by the time you unstrap your seat belts and get out of your cockpit and quickly try and go to the toilet, it doesn't leave you much time to do anything else. But even then, it still goes quick. So these guys will be no doubt looking at setups. So what have we got? 32 degrees on track, 24 degrees ambient temperature. So HSV, I know you're racing, you must be typing with one hand as well, so if you're doing that, well done. But you haven't got long before race start, mate, so just... Actually, where's your brother, Bergs? I thought he might have been in here tonight as well. Or is he in the other split? Alrighty, cars going up and down on the jack stands there. The guys will be hopefully finished doing their pitch strategies. Hopefully no one's made any major adjustments to their car setup. 30 seconds will be called by race director. You'll see the cars drop down soon. And we will be off for a formation lap, which will be led by Vic Chan. Cycling National Championships, awesome. Oh, good luck to him anyway, mate. Hopefully he does well. If there's anything like he is on track through Assetto Corsa, as he is on a bike, then I'm sure he's probably very good. So there's a couple of guys in here that are new to the league, and hopefully they've read the driver briefing, and we have a nice race start. So it'll be a rolling start as they form up. Turn 1 here is typically where you'll find cars going out wide to take the first right-hander, then to set up for the second turn on the left, and that's when you'll find cars will try and jump down on the inside, and typically find that's when accidents happen. So let's not wish that upon the guys tonight. Let's just hope for a nice clean race. So this is the first race of 2022 officially through this GT3 series. So there's this is split 1. We've got split 2 occurring right now as well. So it'll be interesting to see what who comes out on top with that, with Slambo obviously in pole position. I know that Riggsy's also in the split 2 race in the Lexus. Sort of watching him last night and talking to Riggsy through Discord, and he's got some secrets with the Lexus that he's discovered that he's holding very, very close to his chest. Whilst he is giving some coaching and some support to guys driving in Lexus, he openly admits that there's some information that he's not passing on. So he drove that in the, last season, did pretty well, but it looks like over the Christmas break and the New Year break he's found something in that car that is exciting him. Just while we wait for these guys to maybe slow down a little bit so the back markers can catch up. Well, they're pretty spread out, so this is not great at this stage. So some of these guys coming in from the back. Let's tidying up now.
Green light, show
race, race director has initiated the race, so let's go. Here we go, we're off. Let's just have a look. I'm on with Crashy Mate. We'll just find out what goes on. So HSV's putting a little bit of pressure down on Vic Chan on the outside. What a move. I don't think Vic Chan, there you go, someone's just gone around, and we've got a couple of cars in the back. that have been victim to one car being turned around. So HSV has pulled himself into P1. Vic Chan is literally right on his rear bumper already, as I would have suspected. But HSV is a pretty professional driver. I don't think he'd be doing too much in the way of watching the mirror. I don't think. Let's just have a look. So Vic Chan's putting a move. He's just showing the nose. So the winner out of that so far is HSV, because he has pulled a slight gap on Vic, who's just gone out in the sand as well. But it looks like HSV may have been taking a slightly defensive line there. It's a little bit ugly coming out of there, so Vic will see that and know that he will probably get a good run on him here. Just jump on board with Vic for a lap while I just have a sip. Vic's looking down on the inside. HSV is just keeping his racing line. This is really good driving by HSV at this stage. Just a little bit unsettled on that left-hand inside curve. So this is where Vic tried to pull that move on the outside before. Vic, HSV is driving right down the middle of the track, and that's why this is happening. Just for the viewers there, I don't know if you noticed, but Vic Chan's running on TC1, which scares the absolute bejeebers out of me, because it's like flirting with fire when you're doing that. We're just going to stick with these guys for a little bit. I will go back down through the list, and you can see Patrick's just supporting St. Sim there. So I will jump down there, Patrick, and have a quick look, but just want to make sure that we don't miss out on the opportunity of seeing these two guys at the very front. So far, very, very clean by these two. To be honest, HSV does not look deterred at all that he has a championship driver for the GT3 series and the Assetto Corsa up his clacker and putting pressure on him. So HSV did indicate that he knew that if gets a few laps in and the tyres must go off, I'm not sure, but car gets a little bit unsettled. So we're on lap 2. He is going wide slightly. I don't know if that's because he is feeling the pressure of Vic being so close. But for what it's worth, doing a stellar job. So here we go down that back straight. This is where HSV parks himself in the middle. Vic Chan, I reckon Vic Chan is going to set him up here in a couple of laps. He will do the old under and over, or over and under, however you want to call it. But he will be certainly looking to pull a move. If that's where he's going to do it, it will be on that back straight coming into that hairpin. So 3 laps down. The other thing too, I think what I read in the forum for this race is that the pit window is fixed. So it's between a certain time frame. So if I was in previous races, if I was HSV now, I probably would have been pooping my pants a little bit and would have already pulled in to the pits to do my mandatory first pit stop of a splash and dash, and just so that I didn't have to experience that pressure. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that luxury, so he's just going to have to ride this one out. And you can see Vic's really good under brakes, closes in nice and deep in behind that rear spoiler, massive rear spoiler of the AMG. So this is, if it's not done this time, I reckon it'll be done in the next lap or two. He's really close. He's going to get a good run out of this corner coming up in there. He knows that HSV is going to park in the middle of the track, so he's probably going to look like he's... Yep, no, he's sticking to his guns. He's taking that wide line. I reckon he'll be pressuring HSV to... Oh, he just about took his nose off. Hoping that HSV goes deep and slides through that corner and goes a little bit too wide, where Vic can then capitalise on and make a move. Alrighty, let's just have a quick look down the field. So we've got Metal Steel in P3, so it's moved him up a few positions, 5 seconds behind. Bounty's moved up quite a lot as well in the Audi. Fly in the Macca. We got anywhere close. Saint Sim in P8. There you are, Patrick. He's the top running Nissan at the moment. So great sounding car, good livery, good colours, love it. Gazza in the AMG in P9 and Khaki in the Porsche, which is one of my favourite cars, to be quite honest. I just reckon that it's just a fantastic car to drive, and a bloody awesome car to look at too. So says, I'll tell you what, HSV, if he doesn't lose a few kilos after this race, I'll be surprised. So HSV's gone out wide. He's going to take the proper racing line here, which is a pretty bold move. So he knows that Vic Chan has been running out there and running down the outside of him. So other close battles on track, there doesn't appear to be. They're all pretty well spread out. Brinicle's in P11. So he was obviously involved in the first lap, turn 1 incident that occurred. AB Saints, oh, here we go, a little bit of weaving, trying to break the draft line there. Now this is not going to suit HSV's entry into this corner because he's taken the sharper inside line, but held it well, so well done. And Crashy Mate too, so P3 for Crashy Mate all the way down in P18. So that's an unfortunate, he must have had an off there somewhere as well. JCR in the blue Mac, I reckon it was JCR that went around at that first corner, so that's unfortunate for him. And Max is coming to the pits. Now I don't know if he's in the pits. Well, actually, correction, I know why he's in the pits, because he has hit the wall quite heavily. Well, if he hasn't hit the wall, he's hit something, and it doesn't look healthy, so yeah, I reckon, Jamie, it was probably damage. I think the pit window opens it at the 25-minute mark, so to go 25 minutes with a damaged car, especially just looking at what Max's car look like. Just, you don't want to be doing. Oh, and there goes Vic. He's getting a bit of oversteer. That's what happens when you run a TC traction control of 1. Get a bit of snap lock oversteer, and got to be really careful you don't do the old Scandinavian flick and do too much opposite lock and put it into the wall, and there's the end of your race. So St. Sim is still in P8, sorry. He's got 1.1 seconds behind Ty Morgo in the Honda. Gazza in the AMG, so he's 8 tenths behind. I would say he's probably closing in a little bit. But Gazza's no newbie to racing, as we all know. He's been around for a long time and he's a pretty consistent, solid racer. So if I was in St. Sim's shoes right now, I would be definitely looking in my rear view mirror and just checking out where Gazza is actually positioning that HSV AMG. It's back on board with these two guys. This is the closest race on track. Has he got it? He's got the move. Yep, HSV's conceded that position. And probably not a bad thing to do as well. Just, it's an opportunity for him to sit back now and just jump in behind Vic Chan and maybe have a look at his racing line and put some pressure back on him. That's if he doesn't pull away. And just going back to Jamie's comment with regards to pit window regulation. So guys, I can tell you that, and for the guys that are racing here tonight, and if you do watch the stream back, certainly, you know, the driver briefing and giving the full details of, you know, what's happening in the race is really important. So, you know, if you miss 1 or 2 details, it can certainly be a game changer. I know that we've had fixed pit stops before with certain times, and you know, when I've been racing and I've seen guys jump in the pits really early, and you can hear them through the chat, and you know, they certainly get quite frustrated because they weren't aware. But you know, for the guys, the moderators, and you know, with ACC console and ACC PC all combining as one, you know, with the new format that they've got, the way of communicating, probably can be a little bit confusing for some of us older fellas, because it's always difficult to learn new things. But certainly the moderators do a fantastic job at communicating all the requirements. So we've got an off here somewhere. I don't know who was that. That wasn't Vic Chan. It was. There you go. So Vic Chan has had an off and dropped back in behind Bowdy. So that's very interesting. He's got a bit of a fight on his hands now to try and make that up. And I guess that, you know, especially coming through that last few combination of corners on at Barcelona, you've only got to hit the curb, or the sausage curb, and it will absolutely just launch the car. And if that's what's happened to Vic Chan, as well as running on traction control 1, then it looks like he's at a decent lose, especially to lose all those positions. And what this does for HSV is he's practically 6 seconds in front of Metal Steel right now. So Vic Chan's lost a fair bit of time, but he'll certainly see this as an opportunity and a challenge to get back up there, and I think that he certainly likes to take that stuff on board. Yeah, Jamie, you're right, mate, and a rare mistake for sure. You don't see that very often. Saint Sim, 3.8 seconds in behind Fly. Just checking there. He's got Gazza right up his clacker, as well as Khaki. Oh shit, what have I done? Sorry. Push the wrong button. We'll jump on board with the Porsche. We might get the run here on Gazza. He's got a good corner exit. He's got some draft. Well, he needs a draft anyway because the Porsche is one of the slowest cars in top end speed. But the Porsche is very, very good under brakes on corner entry and on corner exit. The acceleration is absolutely amazing. So we've got a good little battle here between these three guys right now. So Saint Sim, Gazza and Khaki. Time War goes 6.3 seconds in behind Khaki, so he's not a factor at the moment. Gazza's gone wide. He's just showing Saint Sim that he's there and he's looking to set him up for a pass, I reckon, in the next couple of laps. Gazza's gone wide on that corner. You want to really be able to hug that left-hand turn. You can see Khaki's just closed right in on him. Khaki's got a fair bit of damage on the front of his Porsche too, so given that the Porsche is very sensitive to aero balance, I have no doubts that he will be feeling the effects of that. So Gazza will be wanting to make a move on Saint Sim here, but he's also got to contend with D Khaki in behind. Well, I can tell you from personal experience as well, driving the Porsche, there's nothing more disheartening than going down a main straight, just watching everyone pull away. Oh, and Gaz has pulled the move. On Saint Sim, he's just gotten up in front there. I think he passed him on the outside actually, which was a pretty good move. Now Saint Sim's got to contend with Khaki in the Porsche. So Gaz has pulled a bit of a gap now on Saint Sim. Let's just jump on board with Saint Sim in a minute. I'll just show you how they just watch this Porsche how just under braking, just and the lines that they take. No, they've... Oh, so close. So close. This Porsche is just all over him. And you can see how quickly... So Saint Sim's spatial awareness is very, very good there. I'm glad that he's using the helicopter radar. Now we should be able to get past Khaki here. So if he gets a good run out in this corner, he's got a bit of understeer. Gets a bit of draft. He should be able to tuck in behind him. Now the Porsche runs a massive rear wing, so there's plenty of aero there to capitalise on. He should be able to drop it in under brakes here, which he has done, and that's just unfortunate that he didn't quite pull that off. But he's sticking his nose in there. He's letting him know that he's not just going to take that lightly and just let him drive by without putting up a fight. So you'll see the Porsche pull away a little bit here, but when we get to the back straight that's coming up for the hairpin, St. Sims should be able to just gather him up just a little bit if he gets a nice line through here. Nice late turn in, try and straighten up that corner, get good extra speed. Karki's just gotten onto that sausage curve there as well. So what St. Sim doesn't want to do is let him get away too far, because he wants to be able to jump in behind him. He's gone a bit wide, so you can certainly see that he's struggling with understeer. Now, as Jamie alluded to before, with the left-hand front tyre, burns up massively going around Barcelona. So what St. Sim doesn't want to do is keep just cooking those front tyres because of lack of grip. So we've got Bounty P3 catching up to Metal Sill in the Bentley. Now we know the Audi's a very quick car. It's also a very hard car to drive too, so it doesn't take much for it to become unsettled. And you can just see who was lurking in the background there. Is Vic Chan, so he's 1.6 seconds behind, but HSV is 8.2 seconds in front of Metal now, and that will probably increase because Metal still will be defending his line to try and prevent Bounty from pulling a pass on him. But whilst these two guys battle out, what it does is it will allow Vic Chan to come back into the mix, and hopefully he will get past and make up some positions. Can't say he's going to catch HSV unless he makes a mistake, but right now these guys are all tracking along quite nicely with 36 minutes to go. Ow, whoosh, I can't believe that didn't touch then. Yeah, I've noticed Bounty's pretty good with very close racing. He's gone out wide. Vic Chan will know this. I reckon some of these guys will be sweating on the pit stop, the regulated pit stop to come in, so that they can change some tyres, the mandatory tyre change that they need. We're still 32 degrees on track, so nothing has changed with that too much, which is good. Unlike the last race of last season, Bathurst, where we started at 5 o'clock in the morning for the Enduro on a track temperature of about 20 to race through to after lunch with a track temperature of about 36, 37 degrees. So from trying to work out your pit strategy, it's one of the hardest things to do is to try and get a really good balance of what all that looks like, so that you get a good outcome at race end. Thanks Patrick, thanks for watching mate, really appreciate the feedback. Hopefully you can jump back on when we broadcast the next round. So cheers mate, take care. And Vic Chan, he looks like he's neck coning, so I don't know if the going over the sausage curves is him neck coning, which I wouldn't expect, but he's certainly not catching.
The pit is now open.
So here we go, we've got 10 minutes of pit window opportunity. So this will start to determine the difference between the men and the boys. And Bounty's gone in there hot again on Metal Steel, and Metal Steel's especially in the Bentley, he's got the rear vision mirror plus the dash camera view that he's got, and both of those views it will be filled up with a blue car in its entirety. So I can tell you that, you know, whilst you're trying to race comfortably and going forwards, it's very, very hard. Very hard to concentrate when your mirror and your dash camera screen, it's like a oversized iPad sitting in your car, shows nothing but the car behind you. So Metal's doing a really good job here at the moment to be able to hold Bounty off. So just for those guys too that aren't aware or new to the series, there's the website called The Podium, which has been put together by Bounty. Bounty does all the championship tables and everything for the whole league of Race on Oz. And with the years that I've been involved with Race on Oz, to see how that's all progressed to where it is today is next level. So if you do, I just noticed that's very lucky that Bounty's made the decision to come into the pits then. Because he did hit. Oh Lord, no! What's going on there? Vic Chan's just gone up his back end. Probably didn't see the. So Bounty's shaking his car just in acknowledgement of Vic's another uncharacteristic mistake. Jamie, I'm not sure what's going on there, mate. But Bounty won't be happy about that. But at the same time, that corner exit, he did hit the curb. He was unsettled, he got sideways, which, you know, that unfortunately, when that happens, yeah, it puts you in positions of where you can get tangled up with other cars. Where's Vic? Let's have a look. So we've got Metal there, Vic, Black Falcon in the Macca in P5. It'll be interesting to see where these guys come out. Got a heap of guys coming down. AB Saints is electing not to come in yet, so Metal's already taken off. So this is good for him because I'm just wondering if Vic Chan's repairing damage, or I'm not sure, but he's sitting there for a long time. Yep, I'd say he's repaired some damage. Alrighty, so we've got a few cars that have already done their pit stop. So there's 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go before the pit window closes. So something that the guys need to be aware of, and I'm sure that they are. So we'll just have a quick cycle down. Karki's in the Porsche. I reckon he'll probably do some repairs on his car through the pits. Stick on him here for a second. He's just come around. No, he just hasn't pulled in, so he's continuing to go around. AB Saints up in P3. AB Saints is another long-term member of Race on Oz. Been around for a very long time, probably close to the very start when it all kicked off. And AB and EXO generally, you know, have very clean cars. Now just check out where EXO is. He's done his pit stop. It's in the Nissan and 666. So EXO also lives in Western Australia, so he looks after the Go to Woe series, which is another league that's quite well known here in Auslan. So they do some good series, some good racing, and good bunch of blokes. And there's a lot of
halfway through. Keep it up.
A lot of crossover between, you know, some of the guys that race in the Go to Woe and also race in with the Race on Oz crew here as well. So we're all mates, and yeah, EXO does an excellent job of looking after the Go to Woe series. HSV's in the pits, just pulling in now. I have no doubts that he'll be sitting back thinking, how has this occurred? I've got such a big lead. I've fought off Vic Chan for probably a good 4 or 5 laps. I've got a clean car, and I'm probably going to easily come back out in P1 of the people that have, or the racers that have actually done their pit stops. So 4 minutes left of the pit window. We've still got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys to pit. We've got a few in the pits now. Metal Steel is coming around, so he's still a little bit off in the pit straight. It looks like HSV's completed his pit stop, so he's done and has got a commanding lead. So he can sit back now and just for the next 28 minutes pretty much just cycle around, have a look at the crowd, see what flags are waving, who people are barracking for. This is a really good drive by HSV. Karki's in the pits in the Porsche. It'll be interesting to see if he actually does do a bit of a repair job on this one. You can't argue though, even though the Porsche has got some damage, it still looks pretty cool. He's done a little bit of repair to that. I'd say he's done more mechanical repair versus body, so he'll be looking to... Oh, and he's got to stop and go. He's going to be kicking himself, speeding through the pits, and so is Max. Max has got to stop and go as well. So that's not good for Karki. So Vic's in P5. Looks like he's struggling a little bit. He's got Black Falcon. He's 1.8 seconds behind Vic Chan. So we've got 3 drivers actually. So AB Saints as well. I reckon that what's probably happened there is, and I'll make a call, is that when Vic Chan and Bounty came together on pit entry, I noticed that they took out the pit board. So I reckon some of these guys would have gone into pit entry wondering where the board was, and have probably sped at that point. So they'll be pretty dirty on that, I reckon. Ty Morgos is cycling around there in P10. We knows he's going to make a position up because Karki's got to go back into the pits. He's got 3 laps to do that. Stop and go, and I can tell you that stop and go for 30 seconds is a very, very long time when you're sitting there waiting for that 30 seconds to count down. There's nothing worse than just looking at the time clock whilst all that occurs. St. Sim, P10. So we've got Mersey Blue in the pits. He's just leaving the pits now. Gazza in P7 in the AMG. Mercedes is cycling around. This looks to be the closest battle on track at the moment, guys. So we've got a Nissan GTR versus a Honda. So 2 completely different cars, 2 completely different standing cars.
The pit window is closing down.
Well, he certainly looks to be closing in on it. He's 9 tenths behind, so that's that's promising for St. Tim. So ever so slightly just catching up, which is good. Won't steer too far away from those guys, but HSV comfortably in P1, 14 seconds in front of Metal Steel in the Bentley. Bounty's dropped off in the Audi, P3, Vic Chan. P4, Black Falcon has dropped off. He was 1.8 seconds behind Vic Chan at one stage. Fly in the Macca in P6. Great looking car, the McLaren, but the only thing I'm not a fan of is that it doesn't have a lot of options for the livery. So I like the solid colour with the highlighted body lines. That's always a good look. Sort of reminds me of the days of Valentino Rossi with his Yamaha racing colours with the fluorescent green against the dark blue. So that always looked really cool. Gazza in the AMG, Ty Morgo in the Honda. Still got St. Tim 9/10 behind him. So Brennicles is in the Bentley. So Brennicles was started quite high up on the race, but unfortunately was tangled up in that first corner incident and has worked his way back into 10th position. So that's a good effort, but I have no doubts he's probably a bit frustrated that he was involved in the incident in the first place, because Brennicles I've raced against, had some pretty good battles with Brennicle, and he's a very, very good driver. So he's got a long resume here with Race on Oz as well. Very well respected on track and off track. So Mercy Blue in the Lambo, interesting livery, nice and bright. This is the one that I was interested in as well, was Ceramic Squid. So as I mentioned, the rumour around the pits at the moment is that the Aston Martin, when the update comes, is going to be a very, very quick car. I just love the pop on gear change. See what his top speed is getting down here. 262. That's not a bad effort. So I might just jump on board with HSV and just see when he comes down the front straight again, to see what his top speed is. But just while we're cycling around, guys, I'll just bit of a fun fact. So lucky enough to have two brothers that have recently acquired some simulation gear. Unfortunately, it's not in console, it's with the PC, but got some very understanding wives that has allowed them to go out and purchase some high-level racing equipment, which I've had the privilege of actually having a go at. And I can tell you that one of them, so they've both got VR set up, and I can tell you that when you put the VR headset on and you're sitting in one of these cars and you start to look around, the aspects and everything, the aesthetics of the whole experience and what you're looking at is unbelievable. Like, I can't even describe how good it looks. You naturally just reach out to grab things and touch buttons, and it's just absolutely nuts. And even to drive, you find yourself looking into the corner to find the apex. I can tell you it's not an easy transition looking at the television straight to a VR. Yeah, so those guys are both very, very lucky to have the setups that they've got, and certainly if you're through the chat or if you're in PC land and you're out there and racing against those guys, then you know they're new. Tom's not new to Race on Oz, but Stu is. But yeah, definitely welcome both those guys. So to the league, and certainly look forward to following them as well. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't have the privilege of having a PC in the VR. I've just got to do sneaky purchases of Club Sport V3 pedal sets, and that's about as far as my excitement goes with purchasing simulator equipment. So I haven't even started to look at what my next purchase will be yet, but we'll just wait and see. I just might save up a few dollars and possibly get a new steering wheel. I think I like the one that you're running, Jamie, actually is the steering wheel that I would probably like to get my hands on if I am allowed to. Alrighty, so we're down to 16 cars. We've got a few cars dropped out. Now, I don't know if that's... We've got AB Saints is gone. We've got EXO's gone. And I'm just wondering if it's because they had that stop and go that they've just decided to pull the pin. But, yeah, so right now, cars are very spread out. Vic Chan's 2 seconds behind Bounty, so they've still got 18 minutes to go. I have no doubts that he will certainly be looking to get a podium finish here. Now it's going to be interesting actually if he does get onto the back of Bounty, given that they had that coming together on pit entry. I'm just wondering if Bounty's going to just give the position up lightly. So this will be, yeah, this could be very, very interesting. So he's 1.3 seconds behind, so he's already made up half a second in one lap. Black Falcon up into P5, so that's a really good effort actually. So he started in P11. So to finish up in position 5 is a really good effort. And I'm loving just the straight black of that McLaren. It just looks so tough. I think it's black. It looks like it's black. So I'm going to call it black. But it yeah, it certainly looks pretty smart on track. So Vic Chan 7/10 behind Bounty right now, so this will be interesting to see who hits curbs, who doesn't. See what his top end speed is on the main straight. .264, so only a couple of kilometres quicker than. Yeah, Vic Chan's net coding, so that's definitely not me. And that could be a reason why him and Bounty had that coming together in pit lane. Ooh, he's just gone deep. Still running traction control 1, so he's a very brave man still. Bad luck, Ethan, mate. That's no good, mate. But I'm glad that you've jumped on board to have a look at our stream here. Yeah, you definitely, there's nothing worse than having disconnects. When you put all the time and effort in of practice and car setups, and then you have a disconnect. So that's probably the only downfall of the online racing, is the actual disconnections, and it's at no fault of your own. It's just unfortunate that it happens, but when it happens, just make sure that there's nothing too close to you that you can throw. So Bounty's gone really wide there on the last corner. It's going the main straight. We'll just see if Vic Chan can get a bit of a... So I think Jamie mentioned before that he had looked like Vic Chan was having a bit of trouble following Bounty around because of the aero wash. And it does. The aero wash is something that unsettles the cars massively. You don't realise how much it actually does affect the car. And I can tell you from last season, Bathurst, when, you know, coming down Conrod, when Ty Morgo passed me going through the chase and I tucked in behind him, the aero wash literally blew me straight into the wall. I had no control of that car at all. So it just goes to show that, you know, so if someone is, if you're sitting in the dirty air of someone else, it doesn't, it's not really doing you any good. But Vic's right up his backside now, 4 tenths behind. Still got 13 minutes of this race to go. HSV is comfortably doing this in P1 with a 14-second lead over Metal Steel. Great drive by Metal Steel to be in P2. But right now on track, this is where the battle is. So Vic Chan's in this position purely for the fact being that right at this point of the track that we're at now, we had an incident that he turned around and lost a few positions and lost quite a bit of time, and basically handed HSV the lead. And if HSV doesn't make any mistakes, he will certainly take the race win, which will be a really good effort. But Vic Chan, he just can't get on, he's just stuck. He can't get really any closer. Like, he gets there under brakes and down the straights, nothing. Just, yeah. Bounty's getting the blue flags, so I don't know why. But that flag man needs to put his flag back in and just settle down a little bit. So there we go. Vic's got a title line. Boys up on the inside of him. There's contact. There was contact. And I knew that this... Oh, they've both lost it, but I just wonder if Vic will give the position back here. Doesn't look like he's going to. I would say that that's a fair move, and it's a racing incident if that's what it was. They both made contact with each other. And they both got a bit squirrely. So Vic Chan into P3, Bounty P4. Black Falcon in the Macca in P5. Fly P6. Gaza cycling around, having a very lonely race at the moment. He hasn't got very many people around him at all, which is probably not a bad thing. It's like a Sunday cruise. Ty Morgo, same story, no one around him. P8, it's good effort. Saint Sim in a respectful position of P9, and Brennicles has got, who has Brennicles got coming up behind him there in the I don't know who that is actually in the Audi. Is that, must be Crashy mate or Max Gassett? Yeah, Max. So Crash is still cycling around. Well, this is for position, so Crash is 5 tenths behind JCR. So two completely different styles of car. The way that these cars handle tracks and curves are entirely different as well. You still there, Jamie, mate? Did you end up doing your Technic Lego Ferrari? How did that come up? I can tell you that I indicated that Lenny Dog was getting a Porsche Technic Lego, which he did most of it actually, and unfortunately when I tested positive to COVID, my family went back to Melbourne, and I was left here. Oh, I am left here by myself, which is okay. I can handle that. But what I ended up doing was finishing off the Porsche Technic Lego, and I'll tell you what though, like my son's 7 years of age, and he did probably 60% of that Porsche, and the last parts of it that I was doing, I'm looking at it thinking, how I can't even understand that a 7-year-old can even do as much as what he did. But I can tell you that with Lenny Dogs, he's a massive car fan. He's very mechanically minded, and he knows what he's talking about, and he knows what he's looking at. So runs in the family. His papa was a speedway champion, and his nana was a speedway champion as well, and his mum used to race speedway also. So I definitely reckon it runs in the blood. And he's certainly got some nous there on how mechanical parts go together. So beautiful, mate. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. I look forward to seeing a photo actually when you do finish it. The Porsche looks awesome. The only criticism that I've got is that the gap between the top of the wheel and the guard is too much, so it certainly needs to be lowered. Now, I don't know if that's something that I can try and fix up with the suspension, but if anything, it probably needs bigger tyres. So I know Lenny Dog's got quite a bit of Technic Lego stuff back in Melbourne. If I can find some bigger tyres, I'll probably chuck them on there, I reckon. Yeah, definitely, he would love that. Alright, 6 minutes to go, 6 minutes and 45 seconds. We've got 16 cars on track, so we started with 19. We've dropped a few guys off. Unfortunately, Barcelona is one of those tracks where the field does start to spread out, so it can get a little bit not so action-packed. But I'm just looking at car 63 Vic Chan is there, and 510 Sumi Squid. Oh, okay, so he's got a few lap cars coming in up behind him. That's why I just saw a bunch of cars bunching up there. And oh, and who's that? That's Max going around it. No, that was an who was that? Might have been Kaki there that just backed up into the wall there, I think. But good racing there by McSquid, just to let those guys through. Certainly don't want to impede any of the guys that are on the lead lap and fighting for position. So right now, as it stands, it looks like that unless there's a mistake, this will probably be the way that it finishes. It's been a good race. I can tell you that for myself as well, being completely unprepared to broadcast and commentate tonight, because I don't have my normal setup of 3 screens, and I don't have the luxury of having Jamie jumping in with all the tech data information that I am normally supported with, and I don't have a running sheet that I'm referencing, so a lot of it's just off the cuff. But I can say that it's been thoroughly enjoyable, and it's I know that last year, especially with Jamie, you know, we really built a brand for ourselves with this commentating, and certainly something that you know, I want to continue to do, but I don't want to just continue to commentate, but I definitely want to improve. And you know, guys, certainly, like, even for, you know, the guys that are on now, you know, your support of watching and, you know, hitting the like button, and obviously if you haven't subscribed, certainly subscribe, because I do a lot of the series races in between the main races. It's typically run through the Race on Oz channel, so every little bit helps. Really appreciate that. But you know, it's been good to kick the year off, and I wasn't sure how I was going to go in terms of voice and things like that, but thankfully COVID hasn't stopped me talking, obviously, so that's a positive. So right now HSV will be rubbing his hands together. He's got probably a couple of laps to go. He certainly made a name for himself last season as a high-level driver in the Pro League. Certainly put himself up there in position. Certainly I've raced pretty closely with HSV as well, and you know, great guy on track, great guy off track. He's a great support to both Jamie and myself when we are setting up our commentating for the league races. He's always, you know, one of the first people to jump in and give us a chop out, so really appreciate that. But mate, so far this has been a brilliant drive, so well done. And for the rest of the guys, so Medals in position 2 will be very, very happy with where he's, from where he started to be in P2 is an excellent drive. Vic Chan probably be kicking himself a little bit for some of those uncharacteristic mistakes that he's made, but again, like, this is an opportunity for guys to try new cars, and you know, that they're maybe not quite familiar with, but we do know that Vic Chan is the master of setups for all cars, so I won't use that as an excuse at all. So I would just say that Vic's probably just had a brain fart, or he's a bit distracted, I'm not sure. But Bounty in P4, Black Falcon, last year's AM champion in P5, so that's a respectable position for him to be in. Fly in P6, Scazza, P7, Ty Morga with P8, Brenicles in P9, Saint Sim in P10, so solid there. Mercy Blue, another Lambo driver, in P11. And he's got Cermic Squid behind him in P12. Karki in 13, so he's had those couple little incidents with the Porsche going off track and crashing, mate. So this is probably one of the biggest frustrations I reckon he would be experiencing right now, given that he qualified in position 3 to be down in position 14. So like we called at the start, I'm not sure if it was because of
right, man. The leader is on the final lap.
early pit stop for wrong reasons or damage, I'm not sure. But so we'll just click back up on a HSV. He's on the lead lap. Oh, thanks, Jamie. I actually haven't seen the feedback from the surveys. I might have to get onto JJ and see what was said. Is that through our broadcast Discord section that we can see that, or we get that from somewhere else? Oh, sorry, I should say, well, the reason why I haven't seen that is because I'm, oh, yep, cheers. I was off grid there for a while, guys, up at Lake Boga, near Swan Hill in Victoria, in the caravan, and had the ski boat. I actually just put a YouTube video up of Lenny Dogs. So I just mentioned before that he is 7, so he was driving our ski boat and racing against a jet ski, and mate, that kid, he only knows one speed, and that's to put his foot flat to the floorboards. It's pretty cool to watch. He's certainly got some potential talent there for whatever he puts his hand at, I reckon. So, as we've got HSV is coming around to take the checkered flag after 60 minutes of racing, flashing the lights. I can tell you, he would be absolutely wrapped. So well done, mate. That's a great effort. Metal Steel in position 2. And Vic Chan's actually 3.7 seconds behind him, so he's actually caught up a lot of time. It's all a little bit too late right now, but as Metal comes across, Vic Chan in position 3. Bounty comes across the finish line in P4, and Black Falcon in the black McLaren. It's going to cross the line in P5, so that's an excellent drive from him. Fly in P6. Gaza, he'll come across the finish line in P7, so he'll be very happy with that. Ty Morgo, who's got Brennicles 1.4 seconds behind him, so we'll just stick with these guys because anything could happen. A little bit of pressure. And you need to make one little mistake. You only need to hit one sausage curb, which, oh, that was so close. So Ty Morgo, solid effort there in P8 with Brennicles in P9. Well done, fellas. Saint Sim coming through in P10. He'll be happy with that. Oh, I can tell you that the Nissan GTR is not an easy car to drive, and it's not the quickest car to drive. So, well done, well done, guys. So yeah, there you go. Mersey Blue, Khaki, Squid, Crashy Mates, and JCR, Max Gassett in P16, and we did have XO, AB Saints, and Stanhouse had dropped off out of the server as well. So, really good effort by those guys, and I can tell you that that was actually quite enjoyable to watch. Some really close racing. Jamie did call it through the chat that some of the racing lines and some of the closeness of guys was very, very clean. So that's definitely something that we always like to see. So, but congratulations to everyone that raced tonight. Welcome back. Just remembering that this is the lead up before the serious season 1 kicks off at year 2022, which we're all super excited about, because that's hopefully, fingers crossed, after the new update that's coming to PS5. That's going to have the new BMW M4, BOP changes, tyre changes, in terms of tyre performance and how they go on track. So really looking forward to that. But just a big shout out to everyone that jumped on board tonight just to support. For the guys that raced tonight, well done. If you do jump on the stream and watch the replay, make sure you hit the like button, guys. Drop a comment if there's anything there that you need me to say differently, or you want to see something different. Definitely put it in there, and I'll absolutely implement that for the next one. But from me, from my COVID isolation, I've only got a couple of days left. Looking forward to getting out, but for everyone else, stay safe. That damn thing is tracking around very, very quickly amongst people, so take precaution, look after yourselves, look after your families, and thank you very much, and good night.